victory as they improved to 3-0 on the campaign. And this was a good start to the game tonight. Bowling Green jumped out to a 10-2 lead and then had to make some adjustments, Coach Jans, as Southeast Missouri put a zone out there on you, and that slowed things down for a while. What were you able to do to get back on track after that?
Well, that's the second game in a row. We've started off very well. I think even against Wright State, I think it was 9-2 to start the game. And like you said, we anticipated them playing zone. We haven't seen a lot of zone this year, maybe, less than a handful of possessions. And, we probably didn't attack it very well in the first half. I didn't help them enough. I'll get better at it the more games I get under my belt. But, in the second half when they're in front of the bench, you can help them a little bit more. And I was as curious as anybody as how we would attack the switching defenses. We actually anticipated them to press us a little bit more, and they ended up not doing it. But that zone certainly gave us problems, and it's something for us to work on.
In the last 5 or 6 minutes, you got big baskets from Jovan Austin, also from Rashawn Holmes, as those two made several big plays late in the game.
Yeah, they did. Rashawn obviously is very talented, big, strong, and we were going to him. We were running stuff for him and Spencer late, and we felt like if we could get it to him with a foot or two in the paint, that we'd have a good chance to score the basketball. And he missed a couple free throws, which we got to work on, but we made 6 in a row, I think, to close it as well.
Coach, defensively tonight you hold Southeast Missouri to 41% shooting, and before the game you and I talked about your defense. While the numbers certainly were acceptable, you weren't quite happy with all the process of your defense, the basics of each possession to possession. What about tonight here, your immediate reaction? I
thought it was better. They're very talented. They came in here with momentum, having won the last 2 games, and they were full strength now. And it was very evident that they've got good players, and I think they're going to win a ton of games this year. I think we'll look back, and this will end up being a pretty good win for us because they're individually really, really talented with a lot of athleticism and some length and some size. And I really thought, even though our numbers maybe weren't quite as good as some other games, that we probably defended better overall this game than we had in our previous 2.
How about Zach Denny guarding their best guy, Jerikas Bradley, giving up a little bit of size, at least in the bulk area. Jerikas, big, strong player. Zach having to guard him, came up with a key post-feed steal and really did a nice job defensively. Talk about his effort.
He did. Zach plays with a high motor. People mistake him as just a shooter, and that's not what he is. He's got a lot more to his game than that, and we have confidence in him defensively. And we were a little disappointed in the first half. Bradley got us on the post up, and we didn't get around on the post. And then we kept talking to him about it. And then, he stayed with him. He knew he was guarding a pretty talented kid, and he did a pretty good job with him. And then, like you said, he had a big steal there late in the game that helped us get some separation.
Well, another thing tonight, Coach, you win a game when you go just 2 for 13 behind the arc. What does that say about the other parts of your game that you're able to overcome that tonight?
It says we need to get in the gym. That's what it says to me. We didn't shoot it very well. We were 0 for 7 in the first half, so 2 for 6 in the second. But I like the fact that they realized that and felt like we have a little more of an advantage around the basket tonight. So they were feeding Spencer and Delvin and Rashawn down there, and we were able to go to work. But we've been watching basketball long enough. You're going to have nights, I don't care if it's home, road, or neutral, where, the ball doesn't go in the basket quite as much. I was more disappointed with our free throws. If you take away the last 6, we were 8 for 16, going down the stretch. And fortunately, we made some to close the game out, but we've got to shoot free throws better.
Coach, final thoughts here. You win all the hustle stats, the points off turnovers, the second chance points, the fast break points. You had 9 steals to their 3. Are those some of the more important numbers when you look at the stats after a game?
They are. We talked prior to the game about, I felt like in the first 2 games when I watched it on video, that we practiced harder than we played, and it was discouraging to our staff, you know, because there were times in practice where we were like, man, we're really getting after it, and then for whatever reason on the game, they freeze up a little bit. So we talked about getting our practice into the game, and I thought for the most part we did a better job of that tonight. Offensively, certainly with the change in defenses and more of the zone look, I told our guys in the locker room that's going to help us moving forward, because now we've got a little taste of what it's like to play against zone, and hopefully we'll be better at it next time.
Well, Coach, 3-0, it's just where you want to be. We'll talk to you Sunday in Detroit.
Sounds good, Todd. Thanks.
That's head coach Chris Jans on our Wood County Hospital post-game show. Bowling Green, a 62-54 win over Southeast Missouri State. We'll be back with more at Stroh Center. You're listening to Falcon Basketball from Learfield Sports.
Whether your stay is for business or pleasure, the Hampton Inn Bowling Green will make your stay.